You can't recall how far you've ventured out into the wasteland, but you do know you're vulnerable to the outside world. You begin to consider the fact that there may be chasers in this world just as wise, if not wiser than Elliot. Chasers, or God forbid, elders, who may see right through your disguise he had conjured up for you. You had to get out of sight. Amongst the jet-black overgrowth of dead and dried-out plants, which were probably never alive to begin with, you spy a cavity in the side of a great rock face. The stone crumbles as flakes of dust and small pieces of debris fall just beyond you from the top of the entrance, yet you feel it worth the risk and wander inside. You hear the clack of the soles of your shoes echo against the stone, pushing the foliage aside as you go until the light of the unusual world seems like a distant memory. Water droplets make their way down the ancient roots cascading from the ceiling of the stone structure and dripping to the ground below. The sound is somewhat soothing as you venture further. Unfortunately, the cave doesn't extend quite as far as you hoped. It seems to be blocked by what appears to be a collapse of the rock, which must have occurred a while ago due to the amount of dead foliage growing between the many gaps in the stone. A lone radiant rose blooms amongst the intimidating black thorns. A yellow and beautifully formed rose with every petal intact and not one impurity. As unusual as it is to see such a natural and living sight in this realm, what really catches your eye is a cluster of rags just ahead of you. Strained breathing is heard from inside the cavernous structure, before two glowing eyes shine in your direction. These are not the eyes you've become familiar with. These eyes are filled with pain and confusion, the eyes of a soul left in the past, forgotten, unaccepted, unwanted, and unredeemable.
I smell you. A light in my presence. I know you're here.
It's unclear how long this being has been in this part of the realm, or why she is here. Unlike the other chasers, she is alone. The others you have met so far have all had a companion. Even those who wandered through the fog seem to be in pairs. She has no one.
Don't hide from me. I am alone. I don't want to be alone.
It's clear she is different from the rest, not just by her words, but by her lack of the cracked, almost clay-like skin. The limited light shining through the fractures in the stone around reveal exactly what is beneath the layers of each and every chaser. Their bone structures seem to be made of steel, which reflects the glimmer from the outside world. You notice her fingertips are filed to sharp points as she draws closer, grazing the wall with every unsteady step. With your heart already racing, and her worrying words causing sheer panic to spread throughout your body, you begin to back away.
I used to think this was all a dream too. Here, trapped forever.
You have a feeling any sudden movements will further shatter the chaser's damaged state, but you know the closer the being gets, the less time you have to escape her clutches.
Death is the end. There's nothing left for us now.
You know you have no choice but to run.
Don't run from me! The others know you're on the move. They're coming. They're coming for you.
You daren't look back, but you can hear her closing the gap between you. To the point you can almost feel her icy cold breath on the back of your neck as she growls her threats.
Don't run from me!
The light from the crimson sky draws closer with every echoed stride as you reach the overgrown escape of the hollow. The pain of the briars scratching their way through your layers of skin is completely overshadowed by your adrenaline-induced fear. The intense amount of terror makes you oblivious of your surroundings. That is until you collide with yet another lone being, striking the ground with a considerable force. The chaser looming above you, confused, but otherwise completely unfazed, watches as you scamper back to your feet. He doesn't mention right away, but it is clear he can see right through your disguise. He lifts his head just in time to see the vicious cave-dwelling chaser catch up in an attempt to claim her prize. Without thinking, you maneuver your way around the unknown figure, keeping your body flush with his as you cling to his back, shaking as you use him as a shield between you and the deranged woman drawing closer. Your frantic movements do very little to faze the chaser, as he watches the gap close between you and the apparent broken entity.
You know the rules about killing lynx, Julia. I suggest you get out of here and leave it to be found by the elders. They'll deal with it accordingly.
It's obvious by the exchange that these two chasers are aware of one another, but the chance of there being a tie close enough for the two to be each other's acceptor or accepted was slim. He was essentially telling her to leave to protect you. It is unclear of his intentions, but if the lack of bond between chasers creates this deranged nature you noticed in the woman, he had clearly been spared of this fate. He appears to see the hurt and intense fear in your eyes, as his words manage to rid the area of the woman. Before he leaves your side, he ensures the space is clear. But as you feel the protection and safety slowly drift away, you grab his arm, essentially begging him to stay.
Let me go. I've bought you some time. Get out of here before they catch you.
He pulls his arm away from you as he turns, but he's unable to leave without one last look. He sees how lost and helpless you are, and can't help spilling his understanding of this world, giving you the knowledge to enable your fighting chance.
Rosaline, she's your best chance of getting out of this mess. But you didn't hear it from me. She dwells in the outer circles, watching over the exiles. She is neither link nor chaser.
Your gratitude is clear to see, but can't be expressed by words. He flashes the first genuine smile you have seen in this realm since your time with Elliot, allowing your hope to surface once again as he wanders off. That was until the sinister words of what you can only assume to be an elder once again ring in your head, this time wedging a warning into your suppressed mind.
Your fate is yet to be sealed, my child. However, the actions of those assisting you through this realm cannot go unnoticed. They know the rules. Accept or reject, there is nothing in between. Remember his face. It'll be the last time you see it. He has made a grave mistake. There's no going back from here, only forward. I have to say I made a good choice of chaser to place you with. I knew he couldn't help himself. It has been quite entertaining. Treason, but entertaining. I'm afraid this time I'm left with no choice but to inflict heavier punishment. Allow me to demonstrate what I mean.